Hey everyone. I think we need to discuss how wild the last couple months have been for investors, because there's definitely, and I mean definitely, an important lesson to learn here. Now first, I promise we're not going to get lost in a bunch of statistics. I confess we will hit on a few, but then we're just going to roll with it. First, let's acknowledge a little bit of crazy. The start of this year saw U.S. financial markets have the worst first quarter ever. Yes, the worst ever. Well, it's no secret this health pandemic has upended everything. So maybe we're all wondering what's going to become of us. But then, even in the midst of all this uncertainty, the S&P 500 leading index of stocks had its best April performance in, get this, 82 years. The best in 82 years with all that's going on, right? After such a terrible start? This is nuts. So of course you might think, wow, my goodness, if only we could have gotten out before prices fell. And if we then got back in for the mind-blowing recovery, how cool would that have been, right? Sounds pretty good. And let's admit, some of you may have thought about that because it would have been financially, what do we call? Oh yeah, way more than cool. Well, sorry, don't get too excited. I'm going to share with you a simple fact-based dose of reality that will hopefully help you embrace that what you really want to do, is just stay on plan. So check this out. A little data from the firm Putnam Investments. And I promise the only stats we're going to consider, but they matter. Over a 15-year period, one starting at the end of 2004 through the end of December of this past year, the S&P 500 had a return of 9% per year. 10 grand became more than $36,000. That's what I call a pretty good deal. Think about it, 15 years, 9% per year. This is way more than cool, huh? But of course, that assumes you held your ground, you stayed invested, because you didn't assume you could tell what would happen next. So here's that one statistic that really hurts. Over those same 15 years, if you just missed the 40 best days in the market, yes, the 40 best days, that's less than 3 days per year. Not a big deal. I mean, it's 15 years. Well, if you missed those 40 best days in 15 years, you didn't average 9%. No, that went away. You know what happened instead? Well, brace yourself. Over 15 years, after missing those 40 days, you lost over 3.5% per year. You didn't make a dime. Instead of 10 grand becoming more than $36,000, 10 grand became less than $6,000. That's what I call painful, and we don't ever want to see that happen to any one of you. So given the little hypothetical that we just cruised through, knowing that, hopefully here's what you come away with. It's very simple. When you've got the feeling that it's the right time for getting all out temporarily because you think you see what's coming, how do I put this? Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Forget the fact that you would need to be off the chart skilled to have any real shot at some additional benefit over just buying and holding. On top of that, unless you're incredibly lucky, it just doesn't work. So what does work? I'll tell you what works. Clearly defining your investment goals, your risk tolerance, and above all, your time horizon, because it's not about timing, no. It's about the time frame for when you will need your money. That's the information that matters when you build a portfolio. And with that, then you design a portfolio to go the distance that you've chosen. And you do so knowing that, sure, there may be some challenging times and even some strategic adjustments along the way. But major overhauls? All in? All out? No. Come to think of it, when would a truly major adjustment probably be a smart move? I'll tell you, it's not when markets surprise us up or shock us down. No, because that happens all the time. We know that. And guess what else? It's also not when an economy breaks down or blasts off. It's really more simple. And here it is. Any truly significant overhaul to a well-managed portfolio, well, that's usually called for when something significant occurs, not in markets, but in your life. A development that changes a few key factors, like the time frame of when your money will be needed. A life change that changes the risk levels that are suitable to you. Or maybe because one or even more of your original goals has been achieved, or changed, or supplemented with something new. You see, it's your situation. That's what prompts major portfolio shifts. It's always about you and what you want to achieve for yourself and your loved ones. Our job is not to take care of your portfolio. No, our job is to stay current with one another about any changes in your life so that we can keep your portfolio focused on taking care of you. You know, in competitive sports, simple fact. Keep your eye on the ball, you'll probably win the game. But if you decide to keep checking the scoreboard, kind of like checking your account every day, you're probably not going to win. You'll be too distracted to win. We have to keep our eye on the ball. And in investing, the ball is not today's market prices. That's not the ball. And it's also not where you think prices may be going tomorrow because you got a feeling. Again, get this, the market's the scoreboard. You're not supposed to be watching the scoreboard. You're supposed to be watching the ball. And the ball in investing, it's what's going on with you. That's the ball. What's going on with you? Take that in. Really take it in, because if you do, you may be amazed at how much more smoothly this whole thing can go and how much more success you can experience. All right, enough of this. Let's be safe, let's be healthy, and let's do this again soon.